In this video, we're going to determine the intervals of which a function is increasing, decreasing, or constant. The concept of increasing and decreasing relate to whether the graph of a function rises or falls. A function increases if its graph rises from left to right on the interval. Again, a function increases if the graph rises from left to right on the interval. A function decreases if the graph falls from left to right on the interval. And if a graph does not rise or fall, if it stays the same, we call that constant. So a function is constant if the graph is horizontal on the interval. Let's do an example. Where is the function increasing? Let's write it in interval notation form. So take a look at the graph. Where do you see the graph increasing on this interval? Now, when we talk about interval, we're talking about where does it start and where does it stop in terms of increasing. So if we take a look here, it looks like it starts right here at -4. And when we're talking about interval, we're talking about the numbers on the X number line. So that would be -4. And it begins to make its rise, and it keeps rising, rise, and it stops rising right there at 0. Again, we use our X numbers on X number line or the X-axis to determine the intervals. So the interval, again, it starts at -4 and it ends at 0. So that is the interval in which this function is increasing. Now let's take a look at where this function is decreasing. So where does it start and where does it stop on the interval in terms of decreasing? On this one, you actually should have noticed 2 points in which it's decreasing. So here at -6, and we know that's -6 because if this is -4, -5, -6, so it starts right there at -6 and it starts going down, it's going down, down, and it stops going down right there at -4 because recall at -4 on is where it begins to go up or increase. So we only want decrease here, so that would be from -6 to -4. Now there is also another place because over to the right of the function it starts right here. Let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, so it starts right there at 3 and it keeps going down, down, and it stops right there at 6. So from 3 to 6 it is also decreasing. So again, the first point of decreasing was from -6 to -4, and it decreased again on the other side from 3 to 6. And we use the union symbol to show both places where or on the interval in which it was decreasing. Now we want to know where on this function is constant. So recall, constant is where the function does not increase or decrease. It sort of stays the same It's like a horizontal line. So do you notice it? And where? Well, we can see that it starts here. And again, we use our x number line or the x-axis, so that would be at 0. And it continues to be constant until at 3. So from 0 to 3 is the point in which this function is constant.